Hey party people, what's up? What's up everybody? How you guys doing on this fine, what's today? Tuesday? I don't even know, it doesn't even matter. We're here to edit this photo. This is the final product actually. This is the before, and I'm going to show you guys how I took this to this. I think I need like a really cool sound effect. That to that. Hopefully it'll look like this, because sometimes I try to do it and then it doesn't turn out anything like it. But I'm gonna try my best and show you guys all the settings, all the little things that I did to get this picture where it is today. I feel like I'm talking about my daughter who graduated, like, oh, this is my daughter, and she did a lot to get where she is today in Lightroom. So I reset the coloring of this photo by pressing Command Shift R, by the way, to reset it to all the default settings, basically nothing. First things first, let's hit up that temp, aka temperature, and that wasn't cool the way you said it. Okay, so we're just gonna go ahead and type in a number that will make this picture a little bit cooler, just very slightly. You can keep the warmer tones if you want a warmer picture, but I'm looking to make this a little bit more neutral. And as for the tint, I'm going to put it to -14 just to make it a little bit on the greener side. So let's go on over to the exposure, and I'm actually going to wait until most of the settings are inputted so I can toggle that. As far as the contrast goes, -28. I don't want this to be too contrasted, and I think this is going to contribute to the end of this look. And you'll see what a difference it makes. If it's too bold, it's going to be it's going to look over edited, which is not what I want. Highlights, let's do +12. Okay, +13, I guess. Shadows. One thing I've started to do is bump the shadows up all the way, especially for my wedding photos. Makes it look a lot more bright. And I'm going to bump up the whites. I'm going to bump down the whites to add a little bit more detail in there. And as far as the blacks go, here, this is what I wanted to increase the blacks. So I'm going to set it to 53. As you can see, I just set up the picture so it's a lot lighter. Okay, now we're going to go on over to the tone curve, which is my favorite part ever. And I just lied. It's just because using it in Lightroom is kind of annoying. It's like not as good as Photoshop, in my opinion. It's not as smooth as Photoshop. I'm going to try to get this as accurately as possible to my original tone curve, because I think the tone curve is very important in terms of the toning. And if I get 1 point off, it'll look pretty, ratchet. So we're going to try to get it as accurate as possible here. And you guys know how much I love tone curve and I like curves in Photoshop, but this is another story. Okay, so I think that looks pretty accurate. But then again, I say that and then it looks totally different. So we're going to go and switch on over to red. And again, I'm just matching up what I had before. And if you're wondering where I got these tones from, honestly, it was all experimentation. Really, I would encourage you to just go through and experiment and toggle through each tab over here with different colors and see how they affect your picture. That's really the best way to learn. I'm very focused right now, trying to get this as accurate as possible. Because fun fact, I recorded this part before, but then the picture came out completely different, and I messed up the tone curve. So this is part 2. I'm really suffering. I have to record this all over again because I want it to look like the original. The one that I came up with looked like she was in, I don't know, like Eternal Golden Hour. Here we go. Now it's looking more like it should. So I think the important one was the green point right here, this tab that really brought in some of these bluer tones, which is what I originally wanted. Wow, I'm so sophisticated. These blue tones, as I really planned them, they really make the leaves pop. Sound like I'm on HGTV or something. And I had, you know what, I'm kind of mad because I had like really good jokes in my other one, the other recording. But then obviously it was completely wrong. All the colors were wrong. So I had to dump it. I'm going to try to like outdo the last jokes that I had. Those were some good jokes. Like, I laughed at myself. I'm like, damn, that's a good joke. But, you know, looking back probably wasn't that great. So, you know what's important about this tutorial? Is coming out with a good outcome, which is why I redid it. So I care about that more than making you guys laugh, although that's important. And I hope you guys laugh at me. Laugh with me, not at me. Although you could do that as well. It's totally cool. We're pretty relaxed here. Okay, this actually looks like it's supposed to. Or so it seems. You know that quiet person that you meet at school and you're like, oh, they're so quiet and nice, and then they turn out to be evil? This is the entire process that I go through with these pictures. Like, it turns, especially making tutorials, like it looks like it's going pretty well and then it doesn't at the end. It's like a 360. Okay, this is really the best I'm gonna get. So yeah, I did what I could. I did my part with the tone curve. So God bless. Thank you, tone curve, for not being exceptionally horrible. Although you really were, though. I hate you, low-key. Let's go on over finally to something else. Let's go to the HSL tab. Hue, saturation, and luminance. Just beautiful. So great. And we're going to be controlling each individual color, which is so fantastic because there's no red in this picture. So I don't know why I have these points in here. Hey, at least I'm being honest, okay? Some people make these tutorials and are like, well, we're going to really just bump up these colors because they coincide with the opposite color wheel. And that, you know, I went to art school, but it's over. I did my time. So, if you're wondering how I got these numbers and everything, again, playing around, that's the biggest secret. It's Photoshop. Experimenting. I mean, I've been doing this since forever. I do this more than I eat, so yeah. But it's my passion, so it's not bad. And I'm going to show you guys the next tab, which is green, which is my favorite one. Yellow and green are actually ones that I use a lot. If you lower the saturation on yellow, for instance, her hair turns a little bit gray. So just to give you an idea about how much control you can have with your picture using this section of Lightroom. Green is where a lot of wedding photographers will go to, and I personally love to use this. I did not know about this until a year or so ago, to be honest. I had no idea this existed, and especially the green tab, a lot of wedding photographers use it. And I'm going to keep telling you guys this because it's so important. Look, you can change the hue of the green if you want it to be a little bit more yellow, a little bit more blue, saturation. You don't want the greens to be as saturated. You can change the luminance as well, make it a little bit lighter, a little bit darker. It's really great if you are in a situation where you want to edit your greens, if that grass was fake or something, and you really want to tone it down, you can now. Our last one is going to be blue. Especially the blue tab as well. If you shoot direct sun, oh my god, this blue tab, you're going to have so much fun. It's amazing. I love it. This is a really great section on Photoshop. I'm obsessed with Photoshop. Really great section to use in Lightroom. Highly, highly recommend that you toggle around with this, especially direct sun photos. Oh my god, you won't leave your house, basically. We're going on over to split toning, and my hue for this one is going to be 52. And it's a little very, very, very warm tone, but it's very muted as well. And saturation's only at 9. Shadows, we're keeping it at 0. We're just hiring the saturation to 13. And this is going to default to a reddish brown tone. And go ahead and select Enable Profile Corrections if you have distortion on the edges of your photo. sometimes if you're shooting with certain lenses that will happen and you'll have a vignette, you can go ahead and click it. You don't have to. You guys can make that decision on your own. It's important to make your own decisions. Okay, and then look at me just diving into stuff without explaining it. Camera calibration, you guys, I never used this until recently. This is amazing. You can do a lot of weird types of toning with this, and I actually use this a lot for one of my presets. It's called Blue Bleach, and it's amazing. If you want weird, funky colors like they do on Instagram, play around with this. You'll absolutely love it. For instance, let me show you guys real quick. It just changes the tones of the photo. I mean, it's great. I'm really selling you guys on this, aren't I? And I'm going to show you guys how this is going to look. Also, back to when I was talking about the greens in the photos, you can also toggle green primary, and it will also change the tone of your green, which is great. And then blue, -10, and then +3. And one last thing I'm going to do is go on over to the tone curve, select the blue channel, and then pull that middle point up just so it's a little bit less yellow. I think when I was actually staring at it, I'm like, that's too yellow. So that's an easy way to fix it. And I'm just gonna make a little bit of tweaks. And I think that looks pretty good. So I would say that this is the end of the tutorial, end of the video. So what do you guys think? That's before and that's after. And this is all using Lightroom. Please let me know what you guys think. You guys voted for me to edit this picture, so I hope I fulfilled your expectations. And I really appreciate you guys watching my videos and supporting me. So if I can give something back, it's to edit photos that you guys would want me to edit. Hopefully this was helpful in any way. As always, thank you guys so much for watching my videos, and let me know what you guys would like to see next.